Okay, hello everybody. We're going to continue with comparative and superlative adjectives. The last week we are talking about comparative adjectives. So in this week we are going to finish with this topic. So we are going to talk about superlative adjectives. Okay, what is a superlative adjective, or how to use the superlative? So we are going to use the superlative if there are three or more people or things that we use to compare, or we often use a superlative. So here we have an example. Say, Vasco da Gama Bridge is the largest bridge in Europe. So when we compare or when we use a superlative, we use an adjective. And what is an adjective? As I already say, an adjective is the word that describes as a personal pronoun, okay? So we continue. Okay, how to use or how to form the superlative form of the adjectives. So if the adjectives only have one syllable or is a short adjective, we use to add the est. But first, before the adjective, we have to add the word the. Ok, cuando nosotros vamos a hacer oraciones superlativas, nuestros adjetivos tienen que tener, así como los comparativos, a los comparativos les agregamos una ER y al superlativo le agregamos una EST. Pero antes del adjetivo nosotros agregamos la palabra da, ¿sí? Esto es para la forma de los adjetivos que son cortos, que son pequeños, que solo están formados por una sílaba. Habíamos mencionado anteriormente qué pasa con esos adjetivos que están formados por consonant, vowel, consonant. Entonces, si ustedes pueden observar aquí en el video, dice, note the spelling change in adjectives like this. Recuerden que cuando el adjetivo está formado por consonant, vowel, consonant, ¿qué es lo que hacemos? Doblar o escribir de nuevo la última consonante. Tenemos como ejemplo aquí big. Big is, we can spell the word big, B-I-G. Consonant, vowel, consonant. Entonces, ¿qué hacemos? Agregamos otra G al adjetivo. ¿Por qué? Porque este está formado por consonante, vocal, consonante, ¿sí? Y siempre cuando es superlativo, antes del adjetivo agregamos la palabra da. Tenemos otros ejemplos de short adjectives. Fat, tenemos larger, tenemos dry. Recuerden, si el adjetivo no está formado por consonante, vocal, consonante, entonces no puede usted agregarle la otra consonante, no puede doblar esa consonante, ¿ok? So let's continue. Another rule about the adjectives. What about the adjective with two syllables? Okay, we usually form the superlative adjectives with two syllables ending in Y, L-E, E-R like this. Okay, we have some adjectives here. We have dairy, sunny, simple, and clever. Okay, as a comparative, when we with the adjective have finished with the letter Y, we put away the letter Y and we add the I-E-R as a comparative. What about the word when we are going to use that adjective as a superlative? Is the same. We have to take off the letter Y and add I-E-S. Okay? Like superlative. But remember, we always have, before the adjective, we have to add the word da. Okay? So we say, there is. If we have the word sunny and we are going to use it as superlative, but we are going to say the sunniest. Remember that we add est, okay? As a superlatives. Okay, let's continue. So We have here the long adjectives, the adjectives that we usually has 3 or more syllables. Here say we usually form the superlatives of long adjective with 3 syllables or more. So remember, when we are compare, we use the word more when the adjectives has 3 or more syllables. But what about in the superlatives? We don't going to use the word more. We are going to change and we are going to use the word must. But always we are going to use the word the. Before the word must, we are going to use the word the. And what happened with the adjective? The adjective doesn't change. The adjective you doesn't have to add any word, any letter. Ok, ¿qué pasa con estos verbos? Aquí a los adjetivos, perdón, no tenemos que agregarles ninguna. Estos adjetivos están formados por 3 o más sílabas. Entonces, por esta razón, nosotros agregamos la palabra must, si es superlativo, y more, si es comparativo. Pero, ¿cuál es la diferencia del superlativo? Siempre antes del adjetivo y antes de la palabra must, nosotros vamos a agregar la palabra the. Y vamos a decir the most dangerous, the most interested, the most romantic, the most beautiful. ¿Por qué? Porque estos adjetivos tienen más de 3 sílabas. Okay, let's continue. So, here, as remember, we have irregular verbs, we have irregular adjectives. So in this case, we are going to talk about adjectives, right? So we have irregular superlatives. And he say, a few adjectives have irregular superlative forms. So remember, when we compare, if we have the word good, if you are going to use the word good as a comparative, this word changed completely. You have to change the word good, and instead of use good, you have to use better. But what happened when we want to talk about superlatives? Okay, the word change. Remember that irregulars are words that are completely changed when we write it or when we pronounce it. Okay, so in comparative we use better, but in superlative we use the best. Si ustedes se dan cuenta, aquí siempre seguimos utilizando the, ¿sí? Siempre utilizamos the. O sea, as a comparative, we use the best. What about bad? In comparative, words. In superlative, the worst. Far, comparative, farther, and superlative, the forest. Okay, those are irregular superlatives, adjectives. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, here as a homework for today, boys and girls, please, we have 4 exercises that you are going to practice how to write the superlative and the comparative adjectives, and also the base form of the adjectives. So please, on your notebooks, write out those exercises and send me a picture of your work. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.